Hey guys, it's Sam and this is Top 5 Wednesday. If you are new to Top 5 Wednesday, I will leave a link to the Goodreads group down below for topics and such. This week's topic is books featuring witches. Now, I probably should have named it, at least for myself looking back on this, favorite witches, but it is the same thing. These are going to be my favorite witches. Because I realize that I have a very specific definition of witch, and I don't have a ton of books necessarily that feature witches prominently. I don't read a lot of witch books, but I wanted to have a witch topic because I'm feeling very witchy these days. But I don't have a ton of witch books. So, oops. So number 5 is actually a non-book witch, and that is Willow from Buffy the Vampire Slayer. As you guys probably know, Buffy the Vampire Slayer is one of my favorite shows of all time. It's amazing. And Willow is one of my favorite TV witches. I've watched a lot of paranormal shows in the past and currently, but I just am not watching a lot of TV right now. But witch characters I tend to like, but Willow is obviously forever and always going to be my favorite. She went through so much, and she can be a bad character at times. Her arc in season 6 was just like, oh my god. But she's my favorite, and she will always be my favorite. And especially the way that she started out is one of my favorites, like as a little like BB witch. Adorable. So thinking of Willow as a witch character, that is the kind of witch that I tend to like a lot, and that is why not every female character that does magic is a witch to me. Like, witch has a very specific look, feel, aesthetic to it. So it's not like Alina or anybody else in any of the magic, I can't think of anybody at this particular point, is a witch, because those are magic users. They're a different classification. Witch is a very specific thing in my head, so I don't have a lot of characters that fall under this, and my favorites you'll be able to see, like, that's the kind of witch that I like. Number 4, I hesitated to put on here, but Harry Potter is a witch book. So my favorite witch from the Harry Potter series may surprise you, because it's not the one that you probably think that it is, because everyone answers Hermione Granger. My favorite witch from the Harry Potter series is Professor McGonagall. Professor McGonagall is the best. I aspire to be Professor McGonagall. I want to do what she does. I want to be who she is. She defines badass for me. I love her. She's my favorite. Number 3 is pretty classic and on the nose, but I really had to include her, and that is Elphaba from Wicked, specifically from the book, not from anything else or from like The Wizard of Oz or anything like that, because that's not technically Elphaba. You know what I mean. So I love Elphaba in this book. She is the traditional witch, how we get the idea of what a witch looks like, the green, all that kind of stuff, but I just adore her. She's such a morally gray character, and so interesting. Like, the more I think about Elphaba as a character over the years, the more that I like this book and her as a character so much. She's just a very sympathetic character, but incredibly morally gray and does really horrible things sometimes, but you understand her reasonings, and I really appreciate that. We have Julia from the Magician's Trilogy. Julia actually doesn't pop up until book 2, but she is a hedge witch. So the characters in the Magicians go to a magical college and become wizards and witches and stuff like that, magic users, but there's another route to take, and that is the route that ends up happening with this character, and I love her. I love her. There's so much about her that I just love, and I love her journey, and I love everything about her. So she's obviously one of my favorites. I don't want to say too much about it because it's in the second book, but she's the kind of witch that I really like. And number 1 is my ultimate favorite kind of witch, so if you have any recommendations based on this, please let me know. That is Agnieska from Uprooted. Agnieska has magical powers that relate to nature. She's very much like a forest witch. Like, forest witch aesthetic, that is what speaks to me the most. So if you guys have any recommendations for non-scary witch books that have like the forest aesthetic witch, holler at your girl, because I need to know, because she's my favorite. I love everything about it, about like living in a cottage and like brewing and the herbs and all the stuff that she kind of represents, her and her magic and her being a witch, speaks to me on a deep emotional level. It feels so fall. Maybe it's just the time of year, the leaves crunching, all of that, but that's the kind of witch that I love the most. So that is it for some of my favorite witches. Comment down below, let me know some of your favorite witches, and definitely give me forest witch recommendations, because I love them. So thank you all for watching, and I'll see all of you guys soon. Bye!